Ladies and gentlemen, Florentine Christensen. Christian.
It was very fitting that I should be speaking at this event tonight because just a few short years ago, I actually did find myself homeless. I had lost all of my real estate investments when the market in my city came crashing down like an avalanche. And I did find myself living out of my car for about 6 months. So this is definitely an endeavor that I am very happy to support. And through that time, though, it was one of the most beautiful times of my life, actually, surprisingly, because I was in the midst of an enormous spiritual transformation that has completely improved the quality of my life, like a 360-degree turn. And I have to ask, who in here is either in the, like you suspect you might be in the midst of, or you've already been through a dramatic, life-altering transformation? Several people. Awesome. And oftentimes it is the things that inspire that transformation, for me, have been a song, or a film, or being able to connect to another human being's story. I have another question for you. How many people in here know of someone who has gone through a dramatic transformation or awakening who you never thought in a million years would ever wake up? Does anyone know somebody like that? Okay, well, I've got a story for you that I think someone that we all know. I recently heard a story about our former Vice President, Dick Cheney, who I have always perceived to be one of the most stone-cold people I can think of, far removed from his humanity. And he recently had a heart transplant, and our former President, Dick Cheney, was interviewed talking about how he's been feeling a lot lately, with tears in his eyes, being interviewed on film, talking about how he is feeling a lot lately. And I have to say, if there is hope for the likes of Dick Cheney, what is possible for us on this planet in terms of transformation and awakening? Now, I have very few beliefs that I hold strong to, but I do have one belief, and that is that the capacity to completely transform this planet, to make it absolutely a harmonious place for all of us, that capacity has been divided up and exists as unique talents, capacities, and potentials within each and every one of us. There are unprecedented things that are happening on our planet right now. A year ago, it was Egypt. Never before in recorded human history did a people rise up collectively without a leader and peacefully overthrow their dictator. And then there was the Arab Spring, which inspired the blossoming of the worldwide Occupy movement, where all of a sudden people are standing together across the planet in a pattern that is naturally inspired within our universe. It was self-coordinated. It was coordinated collectively without a specific leader. So we are in absolutely unprecedented times where anything is possible. Anything could happen, and it's anyone's guess what might come next. And it's all going to be this awakening within us, this awakening to our higher potentials, those potentials that each one of us holds, that one thing that the world needs to be able to complete its full picture, to be able to complete this harmony of the universe, the one song that we're all here to become in tune with, so that we can produce this great harmony on our planet. And every one of us has within us potentials for fear, for anxiety, for worry. And yes, every one of us has potentials within us for greed. And yet, every one of us also has the potential for joy, for authenticity, for compassion, for creativity, for innovation. And I believe that we're in a time where what is needed is to activate those higher level potentials within all of us. Because the 99% isn't whole. It requires 100% in order for us to be whole. This is a matter of awakening those higher level potentials within all of us. One more question. Who here considers themselves the villain in their life story? We've got one guy who is an enemy unto himself. How many of you consider yourself the good guy in most of the circumstances in your life? Far more people consider themselves the good guy. And we always do. We always consider ourselves the good guy. The bad guy is the other guy. The bad guy is the guy who doesn't agree with us. The bad guy is the guy who's trying to do us wrong. And that's what stories tell us. All of the stories that we've grown up with, they have the good guys and they have the bad guys. And there's a central conflict in most stories that requires the good guy to overcome the bad guy in order for the story to have resolution. This is a story, I believe, whose day has come to an end. Because what happens is, because we've been conditioned with this story over and over again, this is how we solve life problems in our personal lives, as a country, as a society. Whenever we're faced with a problem, we want to get to the bottom of who's responsible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just got my master's degree in organizational systems, and I can tell you 97% of problems are systems problems. They're not the result of some evildoer out there. And so what we need is we need to be able to envision new systems and co-create new systems. And what's desperately needed right now is for us to write the stories, to sing the songs, to film the videos that show us how these new systems might look and how do we bring them about. And I think that's what we're all here for tonight, is to support a love-inspiring, transformational film, which is a Rockstar Christmas Carol. And it's also about inspiring the potential in members of our society who have essentially been thrown away as having no potential at all. And so what we're doing here is we are coming together as one voice, as a whole, as a community, this room here tonight, so that we can actually start to cultivate that and start inspiring that higher level potential and to make the contribution that we are all here to make. And I think that is something that is worth celebrating. What do you think?
I do.